Well, hey, today I don't really have much to talk about. I recently went to Lowe's to purchase a clamp to repair my ukulele. I've got a cracked edge here. I gotta glue it back, and hopefully I'll just clamp it shut with this handy device. But all Lowe's had was really cool, really expensive, heavy-duty clamps with like 800 pounds of clamping force. And I think I would crush my ukulele if I used 800 pounds of clamping force. So, anyway, I have decided that, oh, P.S., that little stick right there, that's like a super tall, I think they call that a bow staff? Man. Anyway, don't mess with my roommate. He's about to be a black belt. See this guy right here? That's like the Komodo dragon he wears. Or kimono. I don't know what you call it. Anyway, it's the everybody was kung fu fighting. Anyway, he actually does kung nu, my roommate. Look, hence the tigers on the wall. I don't know. He also likes Japanese things. But if anybody has a picture of Japan on their wall, it is me. This part right here, Japan. Okay, fun thing I want you all to go do. I want you to go to Google Maps. Type in places like United States to Japan, or places like Tokyo to Beijing, or go to Google Maps and type in directions from Japan to China, or something like that, okay? And I want you to go down the list and look at like step 40 something, okay? And it's gonna blow your mind. And I want you to look at a few of them because they tend to be different. Okay, and I'll give you a hint. All right, you got to cross the water somehow. Okay, so I want you to go down on the list until you find the step about crossing the body of water. It's mind-boggling. Okay, next thing. Let's see, we're at 2 minutes and 29 seconds. Next thing is, I work at a factory, and we wear a lot of personal protective equipment. These are earplugs. You roll them up, put them in your ears. Anyway, they protect your ears from things. These are gloves. They go on a little handy clip. That's super cool. Now, these are goggles. Do we wear these at the factory? No, but I think we should. Why? Well, how cool would it be to work at a factory where you got to wear cool goggles instead of like those giant ones that you see freshmen coming out of chem lab with, and they've got these mad scientist lines around their face, and you're like, where you been? And they're like, oh, I just got out of chem lab, and you're like, yeah. Anyway, so it turns out it's not cool to be a freshman with those lines around your face because it's just so obvious where you've been. And it's unfortunate because chem lab is just the pits. It's the worst. But anyway, in other news, I'm Iron Man. All right. My car is a mess, so I need to go clean it out. And I'm having a bit of trouble because financially, okay, I've somehow done pretty well. I've been able to get some loans and all as well, but I've got money just sitting in my checking account, and that's apparently unsecure. So before anybody comes and tries to steal my debit card or whatever, before you can even do it, I'm going to the bank. I'm going to move that to a money market account, right? But my problem is this. I've got a good buddy who works at the bank. But some other random guy from the bank calls me and he's like, "Hey, you want to set up a meeting? We'll help you move that money around a little bit." And I'm like, "That's silly. I don't even have money. What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Yeah, you do." And I'm like, "No, I don't." He's like, "I'm your banker." And I'm like, "No, you're not. My friend Quentin is, and you're not my banker." But I didn't actually say any of that, but that's what I was thinking, because one guy is actually my buddy and he works at the bank, and the other guy is this other guy, and I just want my buddy to get my business and not the other guy. But the other guy was so nice and called. I don't know what to do. Anyway, I'm gonna stick with my buddy because it just seems like the right thing to do. Anyway, a little loyalty never hurt this guy. So make good decisions. Wow, this is a long video, longest yet, I think. Considering I had nothing to say today, it went a while. So, on a final note, who cares about the Super Bowl? It happened yesterday. The Packers won. One thing I realized, the meatpacking industry, Upton Sinclair wrote this book called The Jungle. It's famous. It's all about gross things like fingers ending up in the meat. And yeah, and then the other guys, the Steelers, well, they're not actually thieves like you might think. They actually had to do with making steel. And steel is based on coal, and if you've ever known much about what coal making used to be like, coal mining was pretty bad. You'd get black lung, and there'd be cave-ins sometimes, but it's gotten a little safer, and for the most part, stealing is good now, and for the most part, meat is good, even if you do get an occasional finger, like in Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Okay, bye.